Previously on the road to 9.
Oh my god, I want a vacation. Okay.
So do I.
By some miracle you make it out of here, find me on Tatooine.
What's on Tatooine?
Heard about a job, big shot gangster, putting together a crew. That'll be the one.
The Star Wars Anthology Project was an enticing idea that aimed to show us a wider view of the galaxy outside of the Skywalker saga. Early rumors seemed to imply we would get origin stories for characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett, and Han Solo. So join us today, on this step of the road to 9, where we talk about the good, the bad, and some of the...
What? The bad?
What?
The bad.
I'm doing the intro.
What's bad about Solo?
It's got some clunk on it. Okay, so can I get back to the intro?
What kind of clunk?
It's too origin-y.
That's because it's an origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it gives the origin of too many things. We don't need to know the origin of his name.
Yeah, but he gets his name from an Australian, and it's like this real Aussie guy as well, and he's like, Solo.
Really? Yeah, well, that's awesome. But we probably still didn't need it. And Alice from Force Toast agrees.
I just found it a little dull and anticlimactic. I didn't know what to expect or that he actually didn't have a last name previously, but it just kind of wasn't a wow thing for me.
Okay, so you and Alice.
And Eric Struthers.
I get it, it's cute, and I think under the right circumstances it could have been funnier. But, I don't know, something about it just felt kind of sloppy, the way it was done.
Anyone else?
Well, not for that one.
Okay, so there's a few origin things.
If you'll indulge me, it's an origin of his friendship with Chewie, calling him Chewie, his friendship with Lando, him getting the Falcon, the Kessel Run, his gun, him calling people kid, his shoot-first mentality. Even that line 3PO says, like he says one line about the Falcon talking in Empire, and that gets an origin. And it's a bit too much. And Catherine agrees.
I don't think we really needed to see the Kessel Run in the first movie. Yes, I did say first movie. We also probably didn't need to see even Han getting the Millennium Falcon. I really would have liked to have seen more of those adventures later.
No, I will not hear a bad thing about that sequence. The Kessel Run is awesome. The Maw, the Maelstrom, the TIE Fighter chase inside, the Back to the Future reference with needles.
That's the thing that I always throw on when I'm just like, I want to watch a little Solo. And everything from when they take off from Kessel to when they land on Savareen is just such a fun ride. I love John Powell's music during that whole scene, the callbacks that he brings in. It's just so much fun seeing Chewie and Han like finally being pilot and co-pilot.
When they're on Kessel and L3 starts liberating all the droids in the control room. I don't know why, but that whole scene just cracks me up every time. They're pulling out wires, they're banging shit with hands. There's that one little droid that ends up on top of one of the desks and just kind of stomps around.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, how could I forget the bit before the Kessel Run? But you know what else is really cool is the bit after the Kessel Run, when Enfys Nest shows up on Savareen.
She's an incredible character with such a really interesting backstory and great action, especially on the train heist scene. And then the big reveal that, you know, it's a child. Absolutely incredible.
The scene on the train car when she's fighting Beckett and deflecting his blaster bolts with the fan shields that are on both forearms and then rushing at him at the same time is so rad. And at the very end, when we get the reveal where the helmet comes off, we see Erin Kellyman and her dope hair. It adds so much to the backstory of the character and just makes the character of Enfys Nest mean that much more.
Yeah, her music is the best. And she is a cool character they bring in, but they bring in another cool character, played by Thandie Newton, and then they kill her off straight away. And that sucks.
She was quick, clever, she had this sort of Sabine Wren thing going on where she was really into blowing shit up. But she dies trying to take out the bridge on the Convex job. The problem is, Even if Val had been able to evade the Viper droids and get off the track in time, the haulers still wouldn't have made it away with the coaxium, so from my point of view, her death served no purpose.
Val, Rio, and Beckett. I would have liked to see the further adventures of those three. I would have liked to just see stuff that they get into. I'm in the camp that I would have liked to see a Solo too. I would have liked to see them doing more things and getting more involved.
I didn't like seeing really great characters like Val and Rio get taken out so early. I found them both very, very interesting. I love what they added to the story and really wanted to see more. Val, just, there was so much there, and, Thandie Newton's a fantastic actress. And then Rio's just freaking cool. So it's just, I would love to see more adventures of them before that happened.
You know what didn't suck? Lando.
He's so charming in the movie. His chemistry with the rest of the cast is so good, and I'm so ready for a Lando movie.
Maul.
As a huge Darth Maul fan, it caught me very off guard. Was not expecting it. Loved that we finally got to see Sam Witwer voice Maul on the big screen. Never in a million years would have expected to see Darth Maul in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
The Falcon.
Seeing it in its early form and the way Lando took care of it, as opposed to how we see it much later when Han and Chewie have gotten their hands on it. It was just great to see it in such pristine condition for the time being.
Dryden Voss was awesome.
My least favourite thing about Solo is probably going to be Dryden Voss. Nothing against Paul Bettany. Performance was fine. It's just pretty boring for a villain.
Young Han.
I'm not denying it's got charm. The casting is great, and the score is...
They cast all those actors really well, so Donald Glover as Lando was just fantastic and a brilliant choice.
The score, I love the score.
The score was amazeballs, and Han and Chewie's relationship. I loved Alden Ehrenreich's take on Han. I did too. I thought it was really good. I loved him as Han.
I suppose I could have done without the production process being as stressful as it appeared to be.
Chris Miller and Philip Lord were two of, I think, 5 directors that have been cut out of the production at some point in making a Star Wars Disney film, and it's just not a good thing. Disney is valuing their own creative vision over the director's creative visions, and that is the slipperiest slope.
Those kind of things happen, though. And it's worth it for Beckett's intro. And
by far my favorite thing in Solo was the introduction of Beckett. When he just stands up on top of that hill and he's just spinning his fucking guns and he's just capping people. That was the best character introduction.
In the Sabak game.
Sabak.
Here we meet young Lando for the first time, which is amazing because Donald Glover was somehow able to capture the essence of Billy Dee Williams while still completely making the performance his own thing. And we also get a little reference to the Ghost, Harrison Dulles Freighter from Star Wars Rebels, which made me squeal with delight when I saw this movie opening night.
And this is the movie where I learned that I love Chewie. Like, all of his scenes are incredible, especially his intro.
I wasn't sure how they were going to do it and how they were going to have him and Han meet for the first time, but I love seeing him chained up. They call him
the Beast.
The Beast, and they're like, oh, he hasn't been fed in days, and they throw Han in there, and they're chuckling about Han's about to get eaten by an angry Wookiee.
Oh, and the shower scene afterwards, that had me in stitches.
In the shower.
The shower scene's good too.
Okay, so I think we've kind of gone around in circles here. Do we think Solo is good or bad?
Well, it's definitely more good than bad. And really, is there even such a thing as a bad movie?
Okay, but is it essential viewing before the Rise of Skywalker?
Well, Lando's a big part of this, and he's going to be in it, and Chewie's going to be in it. I don't know.
And we'll maybe see the end of Chewie's story. Maybe.
If he dies, we fucking riot.
We fucking riot.
So have we decided? Is it essential viewing before Rise of Skywalker?
Maybe?
Oh, fuck this. I need a beer. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe for more on the road to 9. Hit the bell icon so you're notified about future installments, and if you like what we do, you can support us by heading over to our Patreon and contributing. Even a small amount helps keep us producing content now and into the future.